Not yet. The remix. We're so glad we had this time together. No, we're not. We finished.
I was playing the wrong drop.
It's that time again. It's the Berkey and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. It's going to get wild. It's going to get wacky. It might even get a little zany. We're going to talk about board games and the board game industry. And we might talk about anything else we want to talk about.
We want to play. We're here. It's the Berkey and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. Hey, we're so glad to have you here. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm all fingers and thumbs at the moment. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And how are you, my
It's
friend?
morning. What do you mean, good evening? It's lunchtime here.
Yeah, and it's evening time here. I've had my steak and chips. Well, my moule frit, so to speak.
Steak and chips. I want some of those.
Yeah, so Berkey, better known as Ooh La La Smire. What have you been up to, my good friend?
Ooh la la, Smire. Well, I've been up to some crazy amounts of work, hundreds of hours, to be honest. We just finished our full epic 3-part episode of the board game Royals by Board Game Theater. So as many of you know, that we started a channel called Board Game Theater. We dress up in costume and we play the games thematic to the theme of the game, and we interject a lot of comedy humor. One of the things that's kind of unique about what we do is we actually do this all ad lib. It's all spontaneous. So everything happens organically. We hope that we're funny. I think sometimes we're funny, and then other times I find out that we're not as funny as I thought I were. but seriously, we have a huge contest that's going alongside this theatrical version of Royals. It's going to be all launched today, so stay tuned for Royals. I'll talk about it in a few more minutes here. But this Royals contest is just, we are so excited. Arcane Wonders have pulled out all the stops. They said, hey, we want to help you. Thank you so much for doing. I was the king at Origins and Board Game Geek, or at going to be at Board Game Geek and at Gen Con. And they said, what can we do to help you? And I said, well, we'd love to get more awareness to our videos and that kind of thing. And so they have donated every one of their games. It's like over $600. The Mage War Arena series, the Mage War Academy series, Onitama, Sheriff of Nottingham, Royals, there's another one that I'm forgetting. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, just amazing games. Speechless, the new Dice Tower Essentials game. All of these games, plus some special inserts from Robert Searing. In fact, look at this. I think I even have a picture of this. Robert Searing has been so kind, our good friend, to donate a copy, 3 of these inserts for the Board Game Royals. And there's actually going to be 5 prize packages for the whole game, for the contest, excuse me. So what's going to happen is this. If we reach 5,000 views on our video and 750 YouTube subscribers, the grand prize is going to be one of everything from Arcane Wonders. All those games that I mentioned, plus a thing from Meeple Realty, a little first player marker, a special insert from Robert Searing, and some Burke's Happy Mouth signature spice.
Ooh, you lucky people, you lucky people. That's good stuff.
Well, now that's just the grand prize. We're actually going to have full 5 prizes. We're going to be giving away 3 copies of the game Royals with a custom insert by Robert Searing. I mean, how generous was that of Robert? It's just, we really want to make a big splash, and if you guys could help us by joining the contest and subscribing to our channel, that's really what we're hoping. And we really want to do a good job for the game Royals and Dice Tower Essentials and Arcane Wonders. They've been so kind to me, and we just appreciate your support and help us out with that. And we hope it's fun too. We hope you enjoy what we've put all of our heart into. So that's what I've been up to. Long story.
Can you just clarify for us, Berkey, which video it is that people should be watching to get up to 5,000 views? Is it this one?
There's going to be yes, that would be great.
That would be
If
great.
you watch this one, maybe if you just watch this one 5,000 times.
That's okay. 2 hours multiplied. Yeah, that's gonna be.
Then you'll get a free trip to France to stay at Barry's house.
Yeah, but you'll miss Essen. That's the thing.
Yes. No, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel, Board Game Theater, and watch the Royals gameplay part 1 video. It's a 20-minute video. The part 2 will be released later this week, and part 3 next week. We hope you enjoy all of them. Part 2 is where a lot of the comedy and interaction between the characters happens. The first part really is more focused on the game, but it's got a little bit of our comedic, shenanigans going on. And you're going to see our Gleam app on the website, boardgametheater.com. It'll all be handled through the app. You have up to 10 opportunities for entries to win by just simply, we made it really simple. You just basically subscribe, go to our Facebook page, subscribe to Arcane Wonders newsletter if you'd like. And we've even got the board game group, our Facebook group that has over 15,000 users. Larry Cruz, Brian Wilkett, and a lot of others that are good friends of mine, they're getting behind this and supporting. So just a big whoop-de-doo. We're going to have fun with it and hope everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, sounds really, really good. So what have I been up to?
What have you been up to? No, yes, I did, of course. It was mental, though. Telepathic.
Yeah, what have I been up to? I've been very, very busy with the French vendange. Yes, it's been rape the grape from the vineyard. So I've been struggling to keep my eyes open with the long days and long shifts. But now I'm free and playing board games and talking to you, my good friend Berkey.
Yeah, well, I know you had a long stretch there of work, so it's nice to have some extra time again.
Yeah, it is. And to think about the thing that I love the most, drinking.
Ah!
Okay.
And we have a very special guest with us today. We have Jamie Johnson from Trick Track. And Barry, why don't you introduce our guest and tell us all about him?
Yes.
Welcome, Jamie.
This is Jamie Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Jamie.
Oh, I don't hear Jamie any longer.
He's muted his microphone.
You've muted
I have.
your microphone.
I was like, I'm going to mute my mic so that I don't make any noises while they're talking, and then I've got to unmute it. So there goes my dramatic entrance.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Do it again. It was too awesome. We missed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jamie Johnson.
Oh, that's better. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. No, but I do say it in all sincerity when I say thank you for having me on the show. And these two men have kidnapped me. Please send help.
We have ways of making you talk.
We have ways of dealing with you.
My friend, trying to shut me up is the problem.
That's all right. I've got the master control here. I can turn you off.
You don't need to silence me. I think I've just proven I am more than capable of silencing myself. Thank you. Inadvertently, but there you go.
Yeah, it's lucky I know how to turn you off, but I don't know how to turn you on.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, there's a rim shot. Excellent. Keep that one. We'll probably need it for later.
Yeah, okay. Jamie, can you tell us a bit about yourself? I mean, I know you from Trick Track, which is the French version of Board Game Geek plus the Dice Tower mixed together. And also I know you from Monolith and Conan. Mm-hmm. Tell us more about yourself. What do you do? Who are you?
Well, my name's Jamie Johnson. I've been kicking around the board game industry now for a couple of years, and they haven't managed to boot me out just yet, so I'm pretty happy here. I first got involved with distributing a game called War Machine and Hordes by Privateer Press, a very big war game, miniatures and all that, here in France. I am originally a building engineer, but with the financial crisis in England and the fact that I did a lot of my studies in France and that my sensei, so to speak, was in France, I moved back to Paris to do work in France where it was slightly better conditions, shall we say. And the first thing I did when I got back to France was I found a place to play, as you do. And that's how I met the distributor of War Machine and Hordes, who was like, well, you know, I need somebody who knows the product. You know anybody? Could you send me their CV? And I was like, yeah, I know just the guy. And I sent him my CV. Exactly. So that's how I got into that. When I was there for about a year and a half, and then I basically jumped into the Conan project, which they needed a community manager, somebody local in France who spoke English, and so that was my ticket straight in. Now, this subject has been talked about many, many times before, but Conan was a big success. It was a lot of fun. And after Conan, I got recruited by Trick Track, where Barry knows me from, which is basically the French equivalent of Board Game Geek, shall we say, or Dice Tower. It's the biggest French-speaking board game website. Has a lot of traffic. Supported by Asmodee and a lot of the French editors. So I was there for about maybe just over a year. But doing Kickstarters while I was there. So I did the Seventh Continent Kickstarter, which went really well. And then I did Outlive from Le Boîte de Jeu, which also went really well. And then recently I left Trick Track to devote myself 100% to developing my Kickstarter games, because it's going really well. And that's how Holy Grail Games was born. And that is my career in a nutshell. I could talk about it for hours with all the details, but I won't, because we have a show to do.
Yeah, but what are you doing
and
with Holy Grail Games? Press
that silence button. Well, basically, Holy Grail Games is me. Well, it's my company, shall we say? I don't know. I struggled to find a description for us at the beginning, because we weren't really publishers. We were more just consultants for Kickstarter game development. Now, eventually, I came up with the theme of ludic think tank, which I still kind of like, and we were that for Outlive, and we were going to do that for other projects. But then people started coming to see me saying, "Well, you guys know how to more or less publish a game through Kickstarter. I don't have a publisher for this game. Why don't you guys do it?" And I was like, "Oh, that's going to be a lot of hassle, but sure, why not?" So now we're technically publishers. Yeah, technically we're publishers.
Wow.
But we do a lot of co-edition mostly. We have a couple of games which are ours, but a lot of the stuff we're doing, Rising 5, for example, which will be the next game coming up soon, that's a co-edition with Mandu Games in Korea. We've got normally got a game coming up with Geek Attitude Games, co-edition, loads of stuff like that. Should be fun. So yeah, that is Holy Grail Games. We make cool board games through Kickstarter, if I was to sum it up in a phrase.
That's a good idea.
Well, I like that.
Okay.
Kind of fits on a card.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the best pitch in the world, but no, it's something. There are other companies that work through Kickstarter. I mean, we have the idea of making games uniquely through Kickstarter, because we believe there's added value to it. There's a lot you can do with Kickstarter apart from just turning it into a simple pre-order platform.
Right.
So that's the idea, basically.
Yeah, there's a lot of marketing advantages, I think, to being on Kickstarter and the gaming nowadays.
Well, it's not, to be honest, it's not just marketing advantage. What you can do with just a simple game, you can take a simple game and make it really something lush, something amazing, a really cool. I mean, we have a game called Outlaws coming up by Jérémy Pinger, who worked on the Conan campaign system. And it's a really cool sort of who's who bluffing deduction game with cowboys. And it's a 24-card game with some punch board tokens. But if we do it through Kickstarter, we can make like proper punch-out card stands shaped like saloon doors. We can have proper poker chips as the tokens. Loads of cool stuff like that. And it's a very simple example, but that's the kind of thing you can do with Kickstarter outside of the publicity and the simple pre-order platform.
Yeah.
Wow, it's fantastic.
Sounds good.
That's the idea, anyway.
Well, should we move on to our segment, things that make you go,
Let's do that.
Things that make us go, Board game news. Berkey and Badger reflect on the current events that are happening in the board game industry. Some may be good, some may be bad, but there are all things that make us go,
Okay, Barry, what are some things that are making you go,
Well, what's been making me go is I heard the other day, or I read the other day, I cannot remember for the life of me where from and who it was, that I think it might have been on Facebook. Someone put a comment on Facebook that at Essen this year, there are not a lot of interesting games coming out, which kind of made me go, it's got me a bit scared, but at the same time, it's really strange why people are saying that. And one of the reasons I think people are saying it is because they've been gamers for a long time and they're seeing the same ideas come out, but with a different color, paint, or with minis instead of tokens and more tokens instead of minis. And I think that's... Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. That made me go,
Yeah, that made me go,
yeah. Sorry.
I've lost my train of thought. Rewind.
Yes, you did.
People get worried, minis to tokens, tokens to minis, minis to conquering the world, something like that.
Yeah. And
Love it.
it's a shame that people actually think that the game industry is dying out and Essen is not going to be as, as useful a tool for finding the best games, because they're saying that there's not many good games going to be there. But
I don't know about that. That's definitely made me go, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah.
Well, I am practically finished. It's just I read that and I thought, well, how can you say that? It's there are always lots of good ideas out there, and I agree that there are some ideas which are recycled. You've probably got a game in your collection which already fits that, and they're saying this is new, but it's actually this, but with that theme Cthulhu on it. I saw that, I looked through the Essen list, and I saw a lot of variety in themes and in mechanisms. I mean, there was only a few games which were repeated, like Cthulhu was repeated. There was quite a few Sherlock Holmes games that were repeated, and of course quite a few games which are on the theme of Mars. But apart from that, there seems to be a lot of good ideas and new twists on mechanisms which are interesting. But I wouldn't say that there's not any interesting games.
Well, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say there's I think there's a lot of games that I saw, for example, at Gen Con, a lot of good games, that this will be their first foray into Europe. I'm thinking along the lines of Seafall, Cry Havoc, Gloomhaven. Now that I believe Essen is the release of Gloomhaven after the Kickstarter. Of that, I'm almost certain.
Huge buzz at Gen Con over that.
Yeah.
I got to the booth there with Childress and amazing amount of buzz around that booth.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the things I didn't pledge, because it's I do pledge quite a lot to Kickstarters. Go figure. But I was kind of on the fence about it, and it's only after the Kickstarter that people were like, well, yeah, but you've got this. I was like, oh yeah, that does sound pretty cool actually. So I rocked up to the table for a bit more detailed explanation and face-to-face kind of chat and that sort of thing. And yeah, it does sound good, so I'll definitely check that out. But Cry Havoc has gone down really well as well. Seafall, which everybody's been waiting for since Pandemic Legacy, which I believe, like I said, I'm not quite sure. Ever since I left Trick Track, I've been more focused on my own games instead of everybody else's games. So I don't think it's been released in Europe yet. Correct me if I'm wrong though. But no, I think there's always going to be. I know there's quite a couple of cool Korean games that are coming out, which I know nobody's going to take as seriously as the ones I just talked about. But there's some cool little Korean games that I know are going to be there for us. And there you go, really. That's my take on it anyway.
Barry, let me ask you a question about that then. What is your most anticipated game of Essen?
I don't really have any. Seriously.
Come on, give me an answer.
I'm going there to meet buddies and friends and maybe play a few games.
Hey, Barry, say Rising 5.
Yeah, and I'll go to the Holy Grail booth. It's actually, Jamie, I kid you not, it's on my list. Where is it? There's my list. There it is. You're going to be in 2E173, yeah?
Excellent. Okay, that's me. That is indeed me.
I have written
me
down.
and my guys.
Yeah.
Hey, Barry, when you see Jamie at Essen, will you say hi to him for me?
No worries. I'll give him a manly hug.
That'll do. I like manly hugs. No
Yeah.
longer than
That's
3 seconds though, or it gets weird.
Yes. Well, I'm just going to put my 2 cents into this Essen thing. One of the games I'm really excited about is the new Alexander Pfister game, the Great Western Trail, from Stronghold Games.
Yep, I have heard of this one.
I mean, he has been doing some crazy, awesome games lately. And so I love Mombasa. And for just some of the things that he's doing, I think he's getting really prolific. And I love what Stronghold Games does with their productions. So just looking at the artwork, knowing the pedigree of the company and the designer, that's got me really excited. I'm all in on that one.
Yeah. I think it's just a case that people are not going with lists of games that they really, really want. It's just like, well, maybe 1 or 2.
I mean, there's something also you have to bear in mind, which is very important, is that Gen Con is only a few months before. And Europe is a good market. You know, we have France, we have Germany. Those are 2 huge board game markets. The UK is pretty good. Poland is surprisingly prolific in board games as well. But you can't, well, some can, I suppose, but 90% of companies, they can't release a board game between Essen and Gen Con. And the US being the big apple that everybody wants a bite of, most people will release a game at Gen Con instead of Essen.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know,
That's
I believe,
true.
I'm pretty sure C4 was available at Gen Con. So it's not new at Essen, it's just its first appearance in Europe.
Yeah.
You know, it's, despite the fact that Essen is a trade show, it's not got the impact on America, I think, that Gen Con has, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
For people like yourself, podcasters and reviewers and all that kind of thing.
Our next episode is going to be a Essen-centric, Barry Doublet-centric podcast. I am very excited about hearing about Essen, all the things that happen. So, Barry, I want to...
I'd give out and...
I want to know about hugs. I want to know about kisses and...
Oh, wow. Is this Essen After Dark?
Yeah.
Or is this one of these German dungeons I keep hearing?
Mugs of beer and everything else, and polka time, whatever happens there in Germany.
Whatever happens in Essen stays in Essen.
Yeah.
I am hanging out with Ben Maddox, so anything could happen.
Oh, boy.
All bets are off.
So what's been making you go, Berkey?
Well, there was just a small thing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but Ares Games has opened pre-orders for War of the Rings 2nd edition anniversary release deluxe set. And I thought this was really interesting because War of the Rings is such a fantastic game. Love what Ares Games have done with Battle of the Five Tribes or Battle of the Five Armies. And they said this is that there's they sold out of this anniversary edition that had 205 fully painted miniatures in it.
Wow.
Now I didn't get the research. Maybe you guys know, but I don't know how much that thing costs.
With 205 pre-painted models, I mean, even if they're pretty bad quality pre-painted models, that's still a lot of money, I think, anyway.
Well, it's saying that it's sold out in no time, but now what they're doing is they're offering an anniversary release deluxe set, which basically for people who already own the game, have painted their own thing, they get new manuals and all the stuff that adds up, and it's worth about $70. And they have a pre-order window till October 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that made me go was, first off, I missed the boat on that whole thing. I probably couldn't have afforded it anyway, but I mean, 205 amazing miniatures for that game. I mean, that's got to just be something.
That's a lot of more. That's going to be a heavy box. That's going to be a very heavy box.
Yeah. Before the show, Jem, we're talking about painting miniatures, and an average miniature for me is a week.
Well, let's be honest here. When they say pre-painted models, we're talking HeroClix pre-painted models. Like it's
right.
Don't look at them too closely. Let's put it like that. I say that. I say that you can get some very good pre-painted things now. I mean, like Disney Infinity models and Amiibos and all that kind of thing. They're all pre-painted, but I think with 205 models in, we're either gonna be looking at, I don't know, Cthulhu Wars price tag, or they're not gonna be amazing.
The Kabuki Kid says that it's $389.
Woohoo! Okay, so that is a Cthulhu Wars sort of price tag. So all bets are off once again.
Wow.
That's including shipping, however. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we have people following us that know something about board games. See, this is awesome.
I know. I don't know what
Way to-
we should let them talk. I don't know what we're doing online.
Well, we might have to get Kabuki Kid on the show sometime. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's awesome. All right. Well, I think it's time, Barry, for us to go to our game show. What game is behind the door? This is our exciting game show. Hit it, Barry.
I'm all fingers and thumbs. Come on. I'm using.
Welcome, everybody, to What Game is Behind the Door? In this segment, will we put in our special guest to the test by asking them 3 questions. Questions like, what was the last game that they purchased? What is the game they're most excited about getting? And what is their favorite game right now? Berkey and Badger will have to figure out what these answers are by asking questions in particular styles. Let's find out if Berkey and Badger can get 3 out of 3 or fall flat on the floor like a floundering thingy.
God knows what I was trying to say there.
It's fine.
All right. Well, give our listeners, if you've never been here on the show, what our rules are for what game is behind the door. Take it away, Barry.
Okay, we're going to ask our special guest, Jamie, 3 questions. The first question is, what is the last game he purchased? The second question will be, what game is he excited about getting? And the third question will be, what is his current favorite game, the game that he dreams about and plays in his lucid mind? But we're going to do these in 3 different types of styles. The first one we shall start with right now. What was the last game that he purchased? This is going to be a case of us asking Jamie questions in a kind of yes, no answer response thingy dooby-doo. And we're also going to throw in the extra bonus of Jamie's going to have to show us a component from the game as well. And because last time it was a bit too easy, we actually figured out Mr. Bonacor's game very quickly. What we're going to do is I'm going to say, after our first question that we give you, Jamie, that's when you show your first component, before the second question, and before the 4th question. So you show us 2 components during the time that we ask the question.
Okay, right. So you ask a question, component, question, component, question.
They better be good components, too.
It's question me, question Berkey, component. Question me, question Berkey, question me, question Berkey, component. Question me.
Sounds good.
Okay. I've lost my piece of paper. I'll write on the back of my.
I got paper. You want some?
I'll write it on the back of my Who to Hug at Essen list.
All right. Who to Hug at Essen. All right.
So this is the game that you purchased last. Okay. I'm going to start because we've been talking about stuff. Is this game a minis game?
Surprisingly enough, coming from me, no, it is not.
Ooh, no minis. Okay.
He said, is it a miniatures game?
Miniatures game, not a game with minis. Yeah, different thing, Kevin.
Oh, well.
I'm going to be pedantic.
I knew that, but see, I just narrowed it down without answering a question. See what I did there? That's called smarts.
Tactical thinking.
Yes, tactical. Good tactics.
I know you think I know.
So the question is this game a Euro game?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Now Euro.
Now my components, right?
Yes.
So here's a slightly difficult component to go with first.
Up close, I can't see it. Do it again.
Let me click on the button here. It looks like a victory point token in a sun style.
Victory point with a sun, yeah. Blue border, red center.
It's a white border. I think it's just a light reflecting weirdly there.
Okay, it's white.
Okay, so very interesting.
Barry, why did you go to 2 components instead of 5?
Well,
See what he's doing to us?
I have
give him an inch and he takes a mile.
Well, I have 5 components, so that was the hardest one, which I thought I'd start off with. Then I have
All right,
a
well-
really easy component. So maybe if you don't have a good idea by the next 2 questions, I'll give you an easy
Good.
one. We'll
All
see.
right,
We'll see.
that's the way we're
If you're
going to go.
good, if you're good.
Okay, Barry, another question.
Okay, I'm going to stick to the theme of the podcast. I'm going to ask: is the designer French?
No.
Okay.
No, he is not.
Okay. No French designer. Okay, no French designer. Is this a 2016 release?
No.
Ooh.
Oh,
But he just bought it.
Kevin, why did you limit it down to 1 year?
Is it a 2014, 15, or 16 release? I'm just kidding. I screwed up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe a slightly easier component then, shall we?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let's go with this. I don't know if this will give the game away too much, but we'll see soon enough.
Ooh.
Ooh. That looks like Lockett, Ryan Lockett's artwork.
Oh yeah. What, Red Raven Games?
Yeah.
It looks like a big robot, kind of like maybe a transformer, bubbly yellow with the name Bunker written on the top.
Bunker.
Oh dear. I remember. Oh dear. I remember. No.
I'll guess Above and Beyond.
Nope.
No. Okay.
What's the new game from Devil Pig Games? It's a card game. It's probably got a French design. I'm gonna pass.
Dun. Well,
I'm gonna-
I'd have to say I'd have a lot of trouble if it was Devil Pig Games because that game isn't out yet. You're thinking of Carnage, though, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Haha. So, do you want another component? Do we keep going, or do I tell
No,
you?
we do another
we got
question.
5 questions. 5 questions.
Right. Okay. So another component then. Okay.
No. We got 5 questions.
No. We got 5 questions. So
Oh, right,
Barry's
my
got
bad,
his
my bad.
third question. now.
Okay. Go on then.
Okay. Is this a tactical combat game?
No, not really.
Not really.
There is combat. There's a bit of tactics, but I would not consider it a tactical combat game.
Okay.
Ooh, I feel like I've given them a challenge here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You got a guess there, Barry?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Is this in a Ticket to Ride sized box?
No, it is not. No, it is not. I'll
obviously-
help you out and say it's smaller than a Ticket to Ride size box.
It's smaller.
Thank you.
So I got a feeling this is kind of a card game, obviously. So, okay, we'll give us a component.
A component. Okay, let's go for another component then. Hup.
Oh dear.
Ooh, there's a dinosaur. It says Insula Primalis. And there's a big T-Rex eating something. He's having munchy time.
Yeah. So
There's a
robots and
volcano in
dinosaurs.
the background. This is some kind of a smash-up type of game, huh?
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it's got a
You
mixture
got a
of
robot with a bunker. You got little victory points.
And it has that kind of King of Tokyo art. I'm just trying to think of dear.
And anybody watching us there, you guys? Kabuki Kid, Darth Vader?
Yeah, she's saying something about an Above and Beyond.
Is this Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I didn't know we got phone a friend.
Well, it's an automatic phone a friend. It's there. Okay, Barry. Question number 4.
Okay, no worries. I can see a picture of a game in my head, and I just can't think of the name of it.
But is it the game that I have sitting next to me? That's what you have to ask yourself.
That's the question. Okay. Is this a game for 4 or less players?
Yep.
Okay.
In fact, I'll be a bit more specific than that. I'll say it's a game for
2 players.
Oh no, it's for 2 to 5 players. I was wrong. My bad.
2 to 5. See, he's trying to throw us off.
Dun dun dun. But I'm honest. I'm honest.
I had everything figured out when it was 4. Now I'm totally lost it. Do you have a guess there, Sir Barry?
I'm trying to think. There's a fighting game in an arena, and I can't think of the name. And it had cartoony monsters fighting each other, and there was a Godzilla big one, and then there was like a tiny. Oh, I can't think.
Think I know which one you're thinking about as well. But is it the one that's next to me?
It's not the one next to you.
Well, do you have my fifth question? Fifth and final question will be: is this published by Asmodee?
No.
No,
No, it is not.
Okay. Well, I don't have a guess yet till we see the last component. So Barry, do you got a question?
Yeah, I have a question, Kevin. That was your fourth question, and this is our fourth.
Oh, that was
component.
only my fourth. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fourth. Okay, good. Good.
So fourth component then?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go. I'm just going to make sure I'm not giving anything away. Okay. Go back a little bit.
Oh wait.
Okay, it's a card, and it's got Ra. That's like the Egyptian god Ra, and it looks kind of like a Marvel comic.
It's not Sentinels of the Multiverse, is it?
There we go.
It is Sentinels? Wow,
There you go.
I don't remember that. Oh, duh. Good job, Barry.
Wow.
I've never played it.
It's pretty good. It's very good. I had a lot of trouble deciding on my last game purchase because technically the last game I received was Scythe, but that technically I purchased quite a while ago. So the last game I actually bought was that at Gen Con, which is a really good game. I didn't try it until too long ago, but it was good enough that I was just like, yeah, they had a deal on at Gen Con. I was like, yeah, I need that. It's a game I would play anytime, anywhere. So there you go.
Yeah, that's Luke Hector's one of his favorite games, and from the Broken Meeple, and they have a really good iOS application for that.
Yes, they do. They do. Well, I believe you can they actually have two applications out. There's either an application to help you manage the game, if I haven't got this wrong, or to play the game on the app. And they have, I'm not sure how many expansions they have and where you can play the villains and when there's different modes of game modes and that sort of thing. It's a huge game, but it's really good. And they have the tactical combat game of Sentinel Tactics.
Oh yeah.
Which is also very, very good. So there you go. That was my last game purchase.
I wasn't putting those colors together. Way to go. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, and if he'd done Scythe, we would have got it within the first clue.
Yeah, I was looking at Scythe going, well, as far as steampunk World War I robots go, there's not much else.
No.
I need to give you a challenge, but there you go. It worked.
Yeah, it did work. Thank you, Jamie.
No worries.
We'll move on.
Kabuki Kid says that Jamie has Tintin hair.
I do kind of a little bit, don't I? Normally it's more of like a I've got the bloody English word for it now.
Ragged.
It's because the headset's flattened it down, so yeah, it does.
Yeah, you got a really good
look.
faux hawk.
But hey,
you've got a faux hawk. You know,
Tintin was a badass journalist. I was a journalist. I'm pretty badass. There you go. I just don't have a white dog. There you are.
But you're taller than Tintin would have been. So
I maybe.
Okay, part number 2. The question to the guest is, now this is where the guest, Jamie Johnson, is going to have a drawing for us.
Yep.
Oh yes.
So this one's going to be very quick because even without the drawing, 90% of people could guess what I'm excited about. It's that easy. So I could have drawn something, but I'm going to use something that somebody else drew because literally you could guess this without.
Well, there it is. He's got a picture, and what is it? It's Conan.
It's definitely Conan.
It's Conan.
It's definitely Conan. What can I say? It's the game that launched my career in a way. It's the biggest project I've been involved to today. I managed to meet some of my childhood heroes, like Adrian Smith and just painters and sculptors and it's been a long 18 months. Yeah, about around 18 months.
Yeah,
waiting for this game, and we've had issues, and we've had good parts and bad parts, and Whew, it's finally arriving. It's finally here. Barry has a box. Show him the box, Barry.
Yeah, Bear's got a box. He's even
Oh,
on the
there we go.
rules.
He's holding it upside down, but it's still a Conan box.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's a Nanook box like that, but you know.
It's a Nanook.
Yeah. And,
Nanook.
I haven't
More
received
awesome.
my copy yet, but we have a copy. Trick Track has a copy, so I was like, so it's been so long in the coming, baby, so long in the coming. Gonna have to take that home, turn the lights down, put some music on, and unbox it.
I did that.
Well, I saw your post, Barry. I saw that your name was right next to Sir Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules Vids, good friend of ours, as one of the play testers. That was pretty remarkable.
Yeah. It was a surprise.
Congratulations.
It was a surprise. I didn't expect to see my name on that game. Seriously, but it's an honor. Very much an honor.
It was an honor to be involved with that project for everybody, I think. Good way of putting it.
So how does one get a hold of this game if you didn't kickstart it? I missed the boat on this one.
Well, I think we made no secret of it from the beginning that Asmodee has backed it since forever. So I believe the current idea is, well, I was at Octagon in Lyon this weekend, a games festival basically, and one of the guys from Philibert, which is the European dispatcher, came up to me with his phone and showed me a photo of pallets and pallets and pallets and pallets and pallets of Conan board games at the warehouse,
Indiana Jones style.
Yeah, ready to leave mid-end of this week normally. So I believe everybody should have their game by the end of October, at the latest. And then I think Asmodee will start shipping it to stores maybe a month after or something like that. I don't think they'll have it at Essen, but I'm not sure. I can't vouch for that. So.
Are the Kickstarter versions different than the retail version? And what are the differences if that's the case?
The base box that everybody will receive is the Kickstarter. The base box everybody will receive in the Kickstarter is the retail box, as far as I'm aware.
Wow.
The only things that you won't get, of course, is all the stretch goals and add-ons, some of which are exclusive, some of which will come out later as expansions, and there you go.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What was the deluxeified components in the Kickstarter? I didn't catch it that. So
well, it's if we were going to take a leaf out of anybody's book, it was kind of like Cool Mini. So when they do like Zombicide and that sort of thing, you have the base box, which is always the same, and then you have the artist pack add-on where it's an artist that's drawn the characters and they've been sculpted, and then you have maybe like the dragon add-on, which is a box with a dragon in it, and that sort of thing. It's
cool.
The same system that everybody knows, loves, even though their wallets hate it.
Yeah, I love all that stuff. I just love it. Okay, part 3, moving along. Question to our guest. What is your current favorite game? This is the game that you are playing the most, you're dreaming about while you're working, or you're taking it to bed with you at night. And what you're gonna do is give us 5 one-word clues. And each guess we get after that. And so you're going to try to stump us. We're going to try to give you a guess.
Okay. Well,
you can't use a word in the title of the game, and you can't use the designer.
Okay. Yep, that's a tricky one. This one may stump you, but we'll see how you guys do. So it's kind of hard. One-word descriptions. Like I have the feeling that I'm going to go through 2 or 3 words before you guys can start effectively guessing.
Yeah.
So
probably.
Yeah. So we'll see what we go. So I'll start with science fiction, which I'm going to say is 1 word.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Science fiction.
I'm going to say.
Whoa. We got a guess. We got a guess.
Yep.
Okay, have a guess. Go on then. Let's have a go.
Okay, I'm going to say Twilight Imperium.
Oh, sir. Oh, I love Twilight Imperium. It is one of my favorite games. I have spent far too many hours playing that game, but it's not Twilight Imperium.
Oh,
but that is a very respectable guess, sir. Well done.
Well, thank you for the respectable guess. Yes, thank you. I'll take an autograph later. Thank you.
I would say Imperial Assault.
Once again, I like Imperial Assault, not as much as I like Descent, but it's not Imperial Assault.
Okay.
And this is going to change your guesses dramatically. I'm going to say for my second word, War Game.
War game.
Okay, sci-fi war game.
So now we may be moving out of the area of your expertise, but
Ooh, it's not a mini
Okay.
game, is it?
Sorry.
A mini
I'm
game.
gonna I'm gonna say Forbidden Stars.
It's not Forbidden Stars,
Okay.
but once again, very good game.
All right.
I'm going to say Galaxy Defenders.
Not as much of a fan of Galaxy Defenders, but it is in Galaxy Defenders, therefore.
Okay.
I'm gonna say miniatures.
Miniatures.
Inevitable.
Okay.
Well, this is the thing, you see, when you say war game, it can be many different things, but this is a miniatures sci-fi war game.
Space Cadets.
No.
No.
It's a little bit more of an exploration game, but
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Star Trek Fleet Captains.
No.
Oh.
Not at all a fan of Star Trek, I must admit. Never got into it.
Oh! Off with the show! Off with
Oh
the
god,
show!
no, don't silence me!
Make it stop! Come on!
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
So I'm gonna say so this is technically 2 words, but I can't split them up. I'm gonna say human sphere.
Human Sphere.
Human Sphere?
Oh, la, la.
Okay, I'm gonna say Warhammer Quest.
No. But Warhammer Quest is fantasy.
Yeah, that's fantasy, right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Dun, dun, dun. We have moved out of the area of expertise here, so
Yeah.
I mean we're still in the realms of tabletop gaming, but
I'm stumped. No,
Yeah.
sorry.
okay. Well, my last word was going to be Panoceania, and Panoceania.
What's the heck's that mean?
So Panoceania is I imagine you guys aren't going to get this, so I can explain it if you like.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Please
So
explain it.
Panoceania is one of the poster boy faction for in one of the many factions in a universe called the Human Sphere, which is part of a sci-fi miniatures war game called Infinity.
Ah.
And this is, like I said, this is a war game, miniatures, build your models, paint them, about as good as it gets.
Wow. This is
And-
one of your current favorite games.
Yeah, it has been for quite some time. I mean, I suppose I didn't explain too much about my heritage as a gamer at the beginning, but I've been wargaming with models. I started out with Warhammer 40k when I was 9 years old, and I've just never stopped. So I love board games, but war games will always be my baseline. And Infinity is a game that's been around for over 10 years now. It's made by a Spanish company called Corvus Belli, who we might talk about later, who are great, really fun company, do amazing work. And basically where it stands out is that they have amazing models, so some of the best models out there with some of the highest production values, which uses a lot of terrain. We're wargamers, so using a board with a wood and a hill on it isn't very interesting. This one, there's loads of, you can build cities and industrial areas and military complexes and play in that with all the full rules for different types of terrain and such. And it's quite a complex system. It's got a lot of special rules that allow a lot of troops to really stand out. Even if you have your basic rifleman in one faction will behave quite differently to a basic rifleman in another faction because he may have more armor or he may have a skill that makes him more courageous, which doesn't seem that much on paper, but the game really makes the most of it. And as far as war games go, the big difference is the fact that with a lot of war games, you build an army list and it does one thing. So if you play 40k, you go, okay, I'm going to build a shooting Imperial Guard list, or I'm going to build a close combat Tyrannid list. You put it on the board and it does that. If you play War Machine, you build a list around your Warcaster who has a feat, which is a big special power you can use once per game. You rock up to your enemy, you both feat, and the one that feats the best generally wins. What's so cool about Infinity is that you build these lists and that it's such a toolbox game. So you can build quite a shooty list, but with loads of other skills that may be useful one game in 3 or one game in 4. But when it all comes together and you're like, oh, this ability is going to win me the game. And that's when it happens, It's great fun. And a lot of tactics. The the terrain, it's a really heavy emphasis on terrain. So we were playing this weekend. The event I was at this weekend was actually a tournament for it. So I have literally been dreaming about Infinity recently, going through my army lists and shit. And I've been playing on like jungle boards, and then I was on a spaceship board. So the jungle board, you've got lots of trees, which when clumped together block line of sight at different angles, but you can go around them. The spaceship board had lots of tight corridors and loads of containers. There was like a rocky canyon gorilla base map with loads of choke points and that kind of thing. It's great. Every game is so different depending on the board, the factions, how you play, how your opponent plays. It's my favorite war game at the moment. It's such a good game.
And how did you get on in the tournament?
Sorry?
How did you get on in the tournament?
I placed 7th, which is actually I've only the first tournament I've ever done for Infinity. And I was pretty chuffed with it. Pretty chuffed indeed. The first player was from Lyon. Then there was 3 Parisian guys. Then there was 2 more from Lyon, and then there was me. So Orléans is officially the 3rd best place in France for Infinity. Remember it.
Okay.
Even there's only 2 of us that play here, but you know.
You made Warhammer sound like rock paper scissors. You build an army of rock. Well, the opponent, what's he going to build? Is he going to build an army of scissors or paper?
Yeah, Warhammer is very what we call codex creep. It's slightly less nowadays. Games Workshop are doing a lot to turn it around. But you will get a list which is like, okay, well, I'm going to play an Elder Warp Spider list or a Tau Mass Battle Suit and Riptide list, and it's like, okay, well, if my list can't deal with those, I'm out. You cannot win. You know, if your list can't deal with the top tier list. In Infinity, there is no top tier list. Every tournament seems to be won by a different faction, different units, different play styles. It's huge. It's huge.
Okay.
War Machine's the same thing. You have certain casters which are never seen, certain war casters which are your generals, shall you say, which are never seen anywhere in the world. Some which are always seen in tournaments. And Infinity, it varies so much. It literally varies so much. So
sounds interesting.
So Barry, I know we have a fairly lengthy Babel topic. Do you want to do the good, the not so bad, and ugly real quick, and then go right into our Babel topic?
If you think you can do it quickly, then yeah.
Yeah, let's do it quickly.
Okay.
Why don't you go through our memes real quick?
I will do. Sorry, people. We'll put the music on later. I know you like the Babel music. They're good, the bad, and the ugly music, but we'll do it later.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, no, do the music.
Do the music.
It's so fun. Yeah, Jamie's never heard the music.
Okay.
I've watched one of your shows before.
Oh, he has watched one.
I did my research. Come on, please.
I knew I'd like this guy.
I didn't want to like come on and it be a talk show about like German dungeon porn or something.
Oh, good. But not so bad. Wait for it. And the ugly.
All right, tell us about you got the ugly meme up there. Tell us about that one.
Okay, our good, the bad, and the ugly segment is our first. What's the word? Our first
Impressions.
impressions. That's the word.
Yeah, not babies. No.
The good, the bad, and the ugly segment is our first impressions segment, where we play the game for the first time and we give you our impressions, or we ask our guest and our co-host what they think of the game, and it can either be ugly, like we have here.
Our theme, of course, this for episode 31 is From Paris with Love. So we took the theme of the Pink Panther, the classic.
And we have Inspector Dreyfus.
Yes, I knew that.
I've solved the question. Monopoly is broken.
That's the ugly. All right, give us the not so bad.
Okay, they're not so bad. We have Cluzet and Dreyfus together at the mental house. I'll let you do Clouseau.
Please, well, no, you got to do Dreyfus first.
All right, yeah. Come on, Jamie. Tell him BD works from top to bottom,
don't
left
get
to
me
right.
involved in accents. I'm a man of many talents, but I cannot do, apart from posh Englishman, I can't do an accent to save my life. No, sorry. I do a very good drunken Englishman under the right circumstances.
No, but I'm talking about BDs and graphic novels. It goes from top to bottom, left to right, not right to left, unless you're reading a Magna.
That's the manglers.
Yes.
No, graphic novels, BDs, as we call them in France, are kind of like French comic books. Well, there are comic book stores. We do get comic books, but we have more of a Franco-Belgian influence when it comes to that kind of medium. So whereas you guys have a thin paper sort of A5 size, A5 in American is whatever it is, I don't know. Small half of a normal piece of paper. There we go. Sort of thing. We have, and that costs like, I don't know, a couple of dollars. We have things that cost like between 10 and 15 euros. They're hardback. They're about 60 pages long or something. And yeah, they generally last maybe something like 10 to 15 on average. But you've got things like, I don't know, Tintin, which go on forever.
So Barry, what is Dreyfus saying in the not so bad?
Okay. If I catch you playing games at work, I'll.
Oh, yes, and he knows. Yes, I knew that.
He knows that you know that.
Yes, not so bad. And then how about the good?
Okay. It's got to be my favorite Pink Panther. It's killing me.
Okay.
Can you do anything about it? Says Dreyfus.
Yes, let's make a game of any, many, more.
This is my favorite scene in that entire movie because he pulls the wrong tooth and I need to get some leverage. And then Dreyfus goes, he pulled the wrong tooth. Only Clouseau. Kill him.
Oh dear.
Good time.
I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do.
Yes,
No, it's fine. Leave it in. It will incite them to go and see what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, the Pink Panther Strikes Back Classic Edition.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best, man. It's the best.
They're all good.
There you go. So anyway, what have you been playing, Barry?
Okay, I recently played this big box the right way up called Conan.
Never heard of it.
Conan.
What is it? Who made it? Where did it come from?
I want it.
It's Frederick Henry, who's designed this kind of combat game, more than a dungeon crawl game, and the game plays much like Descent or any kind of dungeon crawling game, where there's one person playing an overlord, and there's a group of people playing heroes, and both sides have an objective, and they have a scenario, and they have a map, and then they have to go at each other and complete their objective. The thing that's different about this to, say, other games like Descent is the fact that your character has resources to manage. It's their energy, it's their life force. And you're using this energy to do your actions. You're either using it to either attack something or move somewhere or to manipulate something. And so you really have to strategize how you use your energy and when you use your energy, because what'll happen is eventually, if you just go in attacking all the time, you're not going to have any energy left for the next round. And that means that the evil overlord player is going to smack you around the chops. So it's a combat game with the fantasy theme of Conan, nice minis, lots of tokens. What do you think I think about this game?
Well, first of all, whoever didn't know or wasn't up to speed with what you just said, I'd like to see the enormous rock they've been living under for the past 2 years. But is that question directed at me or your dear co-host?
It's directed at both of you.
Okay, I'm going to go with good, only because I know you've been having fun with that this week.
And I'm going to say good as well. Absolutely.
I tell you what, it's really hard for me to decide, but I am going to say good.
I was going to say, don't make me get Fred Henry on the phone.
You're going to have to get him on the phone.
He's pulling the wrong tooth.
This game is...
Can we get some applause for that, Barry?
Oh yeah, okay.
Come on, get on the drops,
Using dramatic
baby.
effect here.
Thank you very much.
I'm doing the mouse left-handed, and it's... Seriously.
One would need to ask what he's doing with his right hand now.
I'm
Yes,
resting it.
ambidextrous berry.
Yeah,
Ambidextrous.
tendinite. C'est tendinite now.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
been working those grapevines.
Yes, I
Yes,
have.
yes, I knew that. Yes.
Working in the grapevine. That's the wrong
Moving
one.
on. Moving on.
Yeah, so Conan is it is a fantastic kind of twist on the genre of dungeon crawls, but as I said, it feels more like a strategy combat game like Memoir 44, and you have this Euro mechanic of gems that you're placing as your energy resource, but you also have the dice rolling of an American game. So you're pushing your luck in a way by either putting lots of gems into the attack, and for each gem that you put there, you add a dice to your hand and you roll it. And it's like, ugh! And the scenarios are really well written, and the ideas and the themes are really great. But
yes, Barry,
there's a big
but. Oh no! Big butt.
I know.
Big
Is
butt.
it one
Get
of
ready, big
one
butt,
of the
ready to
female
wag
models?
around. Sorry.
We're both sorry. Go on, Barry.
We
just
both
ignore
got
us.
very excited when he said butt.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
The rule book is terrible. I am so worried that when people are going to receive this game and they don't know how to play it properly and they read the rule book, they are going to be so angry or disappointed that they can't play this game. The rule book has gaps in it. It feels like Tom Vassell has given it an overview. There are things missing, and we had to scratch our heads many times. The rule book is very small, very easy to read. After reading it, you think, yeah, I understand this game, but when you get the game to the table, you're left with questions like, how do I distinguish what a one-handed weapon is and a two-handed weapon are? You know, and there are a bucket load of questions. But the game, when you get playing it and you get it rolling, it is fantastic, and I enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to getting some more scenarios. I think that might be a little bit of a hindrance as well. The scenarios are limited to the players, so if there's only one scenario for 2 players, which is
I would assume that there's going to be a whole bunch of watch it played videos, you know, whether Rodney Smith or Paul Grogan or whoever is going to jump on doing a good game explanation because of the popularity, I would think, right?
Yeah. And I'm going to try my best this week to try and get a good rules explanation done and hopefully answer all those little gaps which are in the rule book.
I'm still surprised to hear that, though. I mean, I'll come out and say it straight away. I have never seen the rule book nor the text going into it. But what I do know is that FFG spent quite a lot of time working on it, so I'm kind of surprised to hear that. I'm very curious to see the rule book now.
And I'm very surprised to hear that FFG had something to do with it, because normally their rule books are superfluous.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Let's just say there's no flavor text. You open the book and it says, okay, place this here, place this there. It's like reading the 10 Commandments. You should not steal. You should not do this. It's just...
Thou shalt not smack thy partner in the face with dice.
Yes.
Sending the game back straight away.
Ah, dear. But I do love playing it. And as I said, it was very close to being a not so bad because of the rule book. But where I know the game and I've played it before as a prototype, it was still fun, and the guys that I played it with made it fun as well, because we just had a good laugh and we were making jokes about Conan's inability to do things.
Yeah.
Kiwi. So what have you been playing?
I've been playing a little 2-player game called Thunder and Lightning. Can you see that?
Signed by Richard Borg, even.
Look at that. Did you notice?
I did. Eagle eyes, my friend. Eagle eyes.
Oh, eagle eyes. Well, Thunder and Lightning is a remake of the game Hera and Zeus. It's produced by Z-Man Games. I happened to pick this game up at the Dice Tower Flea Market. I had been hearing things about it, wanted to pick it up. And here, Richard and I are friends, but I see Richard and his wife sitting over at a table. And I walk over there, and here he's got a copy of it sitting there. And he's got it for $20. And I go, oh, I'm in. And I said, would you sign it? He signs the front of the box, he signed the inside of the box, and he signed the rules.
Wow, he really wanted to sign that thing. Wow.
He wanted to make sure they didn't wear off. He goes, you do the outside of the box, they wear off. Well, what Herod Zeus basically is, it's a card game. And you're playing cards in front of you, and you're trying to get either the other person's ring or the other person's crown. And the artwork, I'll show you here just a few of the cards. You can probably see a little bit of that if you're watching the YouTube video. The artwork on these cards is just really spectacular. So I know that might be giving away a little bit of my thoughts, but I'm such a sucker for good quality art.
So it's not going to be the ugly then?
Yeah, it's not going to be ugly, that's for sure. There's very few times that this guy's going to give you an ugly review, but there's Thor. You can see that. You're basically playing these cards, and it's kind of like trick-taking in a sense. You've got numbers that will beat out the other one, and you're moving to the front of your tableau. There's ones that give you different special abilities on different cards that give you magical abilities, basically, and you're trying to capture the other person. So everybody has, it's not like asymmetry. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's mostly symmetrical gameplay back and forth. And what do you think I have to say about all that?
Sorry, I'm a bit
ugly. Say ugly, Barry.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say Cadbury's cream egg.
Oh, oh no, don't. I can't.
Sorry, that's the discussion which is going on between Kabuki King and Wolfenstein as well. Wolfen.
Oh no.
Yeah, sorry.
Cream eggs. We're not talking about cream eggs.
It's not even Easter, and I miss cream eggs. They don't do them in France. I'm going to say that you think that it is not so bad.
There's little cool blocks here too.
That made me change my mind. You said cool. Okay, you think it's good.
That's Loki and Thor. Okay.
Oh, I would have never have guessed. I thought it was Captain America and.
I thought it was the Chuckle Brothers.
Yes. So what do you think about that, Jamie? Good or not so bad? Or ugly?
Well, bearing in mind you have it triple signed by the author, I think it'd be going out on a limb if I said it was bad. And since you quite like the art, I don't think it's going to be ugly. So I'm going to go with good.
Well, you're both right. You're both right.
Proud.
It's good.
Oh yes. Lather it on.
This is first impressions. This is, of course, I've only got to play this twice. I'd like to play it a lot more. It's just really, really great. I've only played it one time fully through. So a first impression, the game is just so fun tactically, back and forth, and trying to know whether you can kind of bluff whether or not you've got that ring or that card in your hand. So your opponent's trying to get it, or if you're going to put it down in your tableau and you're going to protect it with, your shields or not. But if you protect it with your shields, you can't attack with those cards. And there's different cards. You get the Thor card that allows you to get 4 cards each turn. And if you have a total of 7 cards in your hand, but if you run out of cards, you also can lose the game. And so there's just a lot going on in the game. I want to explore it more, but everything that I saw and everything that we did was like, oh, I could just sit down and play this 5-6 times in a row. It was that much fun. So love Richard Borg. Z-Man Games did a really great production of it, and maybe we will talk about both of those entities in the future. Yeah, I just called Richard Borg an entity.
Well, he's kind of like a board gaming entity. He kind of floats around and comes back every so often, brings a good game with him. Everybody goes, oh yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, well, that's our good, the not so bad, and the ugly segment. Let's just move right on into the Babble topic with our special guest.
Oh, who is it?
Who is it?
I don't know. Who is it? Who's the special guest?
Oh,
they must be
from Paris,
really cool and exceptionally handsome.
It's well, we'll reserve comment on that. We have Tintin, Sir Tintin, Jamie Johnson.
Snowy, where are you?
Snowy.
Babble.
Okay.
Is there music, or do we just get babbling?
Yeah, there was. We talk over each other.
Yeah.
This is live.
Don't worry, I just got this up as a musical cue, so I know where to cut the video.
I see. Okay. The final
for all of you
that
want a professional production, listen to iTunes, listen to Stitcher Radio. Barry does an awesome job on that pro edit. It's fantastic. This thing sucks, but it's so much fun. Okay, Barry, let's give us a little bit of information on what we're going to be talking about with our special guest.
Let me get my Barry White voice on.
Barry White, yeah.
Nobody does it better.
Oh, no, that's not Barry White. Barry White's a little deeper. Got to go a little lower. Got to go a
What
little
do they do
slower.
better? What do they do better? Do they do the French kissing better, or
No,
do
no,
they
they
have
turn the light.
the board
turn the
games
lights
which are
down
better?
low.
Will you-
Have we moved back into that German dungeon porn podcast?
I don't even know what we're
I'm not
talking
sure
about
where we
anymore.
are
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
I just heard about going down low and kissing.
No, don't go there. Babble topic.
French kissing on Bucky and Badger. French kissing on Bucky and Badger. Hey.
Can I come back for another show, because this is a lot more fun than some of the other podcasts I've
No problems.
Oh boy, we just lost our PG-13 rating.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Barry would have lost it for you S in any way. It doesn't matter.
All right, our special Babble topic. Go ahead, Barry.
Our special Babble topic. Topic. I'm thinking of chocolate
Chocolate.
now.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
A topic.
Lock it.
And a
Try and lock
fudge.
it.
Cadbury's cream eggs and fudge. What was that
Oh,
advert? A finger of fudge.
we are off the rails.
We're going to get round to this topic eventually.
We are never going to get around to this topic.
Okay.
So,
We're off the hook.
come on,
We're
guys.
off the
Game
hook.
face
We're-
is on.
I'm
We're
getting my
Come
notes.
on, professional,
We're
Barry. Professional, Barry.
Professional. We don't talk over each other. Okay. Nobody does it better. I believe nobody does it better. And that is the French. At the moment, I believe that the French, this is my personal opinion, the French have the best board game designers at this time in the moment in the world. And they have the best publishing houses at this time in the world. And we have Jamie with us, who also lives in France and knows a lot about French life and culture, who will be probably agreeing with me or disagreeing with me. And we have Berkey over there in the States, who will probably be talking about chocolate.
No chocolate talk here.
Your life. They did
No, but this is
change
going to
your
get lively. I can tell. Okay, this is good.
life. Oh, Ben's just joined us. Hello, Ben.
Hey, Ben. Oh yeah, we've already talked about you, and you missed it, man.
Yeah, you better be warming up my bed up in Essen, I'll tell you, mate.
Yeah, shenanigans are happening. We already heard about it. Oh, see, here we go. France with love again.
Oh,
More
yeah,
France with
Barry.
love.
Oh, with France.
I've had it. With all
I
this
love
love
it. I love
talk.
it. Okay, so we're going to be babbling about, debating about the fact that maybe the French are at this moment, because there was a time when it was the Germans that were bringing out the best games, and they had the best publishing, and they had the best of everything. But I feel personally that it's the French now that are the number ones, the leaders, the ones that are coming up with the most imaginative ideas and new creations. I mean, I can talk about Conan, for example. I could talk about The Seventh Continent, which is a game which is not out, which is coming. I could talk about Time Stories, which has changed the world. But then again, I could talk about Legacy, which is over there. Where's Berkey? Is he over there?
Yeah.
So, do you guys agree with me or disagree with me?
Well,
Go ahead, Jamie.
I mean, like, if we're going to talk about pseudo French dominance of the board gaming world, then
Yeah.
we can't not talk about Asmodee.
yeah, and
which
use
is a
big words.
company
Keep,
that-
keep using big words like
Yeah.
that too.
Which is a company that started out selling black and white printed role-playing games, and now is just buys everybody, just buys everything and everyone, including FFG and now Philosophia, and well, apparently so. We'll see what happens when the exclusive negotiations finish. But yeah, you can't not talk about them and their huge market share in the industry. So yeah, that's as good an argument as you're going to get, to be honest, on that front anyway. But we do have some very good publishers and authors in France. I mean, where do you start? Between Days of Wonder, Space Cowboys, Ludically, I mean, there's something for everybody. But that doesn't mean that in my opinion anyway, than we're forcibly better. I mean, you have I take Sentinel Comics, for example. Sentinels of the Multiverse, that's a great game. Eric Lang, I love Eric Lang's games. There's very few Eric Lang games I don't like. There's loads of them. Richard Borg, can't not talk about Richard Borg. It's a bit of a toss-up. I mean, as somebody who moved from England to France, there's a massive board gaming culture here, especially with events and festivals and that kind of thing. Whereas I know there's a lot around in the States and other countries, but they're more a few big events. Whereas in France, it's lots of small, a couple of medium, and then a couple of big events. It's a very difficult topic. Honestly, it is. And
I think it's really a huge topic too. And I mean, to make a complete statement of, well, it's the best in France, to me, that's a little bit of a stretch. I think that there's some incredible production coming out of France. So much kudos and much respect for what's happening. But I mean, we are seeing an amazing amount of German manufacturing with Ludifact and those publishers. We're also seeing a lot of them that are carrying over into the States, especially with the rise of Cool Mini or Not, Fantasy Flight, which is now Asmodee, obviously, but Asmodee North America, but Z-Man Games, and again, under Umbrella. I mean, all of these things. I think there's a wealth to go around. So for me, anyway, just thinking about it without really analyzing each company in detail, I have to go, wow, there's a really big split of fantastic things happening in different regions of the world. But I do agree that France is very significant.
Mm-hmm.
It also depends on what kind of game you want. I mean, well, we talked about Conan. Aside from Conan, as far as Ameritrash goes, we don't really rivalize with the Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that.
Good point.
And then if you want a wooden cube Euro game old style, the Germans still have that pretty much locked down with the mechanics and the theme and the box art and that kind of thing. What we are very good at, I think, in France, what they don't tell the English, they'll think, they'll send me back. Brexit and all that.
Off with his head.
Yeah.
Off with his head.
And what I think the French are very good at is in between. I think Eurotrash is a great thing, is very strong in France. It doesn't forcibly have to be a game that is a mix of Eurotrash and Eurogame, but it can be Ameritrash or Eurogame, but it can be a Eurogame or an Ameritrash, but through the theme and the artwork and just the production quality, it comes across as a very Eurotrash game and therefore appeals to a lot of people.
Well, you're seeing so much now in the industry with these what I hear the term coined as hybrid games. Where they have both of those aspects. So you're seeing Euro mechanics involved in these thematic games that have really, I mean, they have started to get a lot of mass appeal.
Yeah. I mean, look at I talked about Space Cowboys earlier, but look at Black Sails, which is a good game. It's clearly a Euro game, but the production quality and the sort of really strong theme and artwork is more like Eurotrash, but it's clearly a Euro game. So, that kind of thing. And that's where I think France is very strong. But once again, you've got to remember that a lot of these publishers have the support of Asmodee and big players like that. So, as far as resources and finance goes, they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
Ben Maddox makes a comment. He says it's viable across the world. There's Greece, Poland, Finland.
Oh, yeah.
There doesn't seem to be a geographical concentration. And I mean, you look at Portal Games and the things that they're doing and how prolific they've become in Poland as well as others. I think that's a good point. There's people, you're seeing things in the Far East as well, that games coming out of Korea, Japan.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you talk about Poland, but you can't not talk about Vlaada Chvátil. I hope I pronounced that right. I always think I pronounce that name wrong. You can't not talk about him because, code names this year is kind of a thing. And then,
kinda.
Yeah. And you've got, Museum, which was a huge hit last year. But what a lot of people don't know is that, not Museum, Mysterium. Talking about my own game there. Mysterium was originally a Polish game. So
Oh yeah.
you know, it's I don't know. I think there's, because of Asmodee, we have a very, very strong games industry and a very strong presence all over the world.
That's probably what it is.
Because we have this. I'll tell you what. We'll take Sentinels of the Multiverse, for example, right? If this game had been made by a French company, it would be translated in America by now. Hands down, sure. The game is good. It sells. Perfect. But because it's an American game that doesn't have the support of a distributor like Asmodee, that's why we can't get it in French and German and everything over here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you hit a good point there about Asmodee being behind, and maybe it's the Asmodee power which has produced lots of quantity, which is giving me the impression that the French are doing it better, because it's not just Asmodee. There's a Purple Brain, there's Fun Forge, there's Bombaix, there's Yellow, there's Cocktail
hold
Gang.
on, we're talking about publishers there, not distributors.
Madigo.
I mean, the two you have to, apart from, well, you said Yellow. Yellow is kind of both.
Yeah.
But the difference between a good publisher and a good distributor, that's a huge difference. That makes all the difference. You know, you can be a good publisher. I mean, look at Sentinel. I'll go back to Sentinels again. They're a good publisher. They have a huge following from their fans. They give people what they want. They have good quality, but it seems like they don't have that distributor behind them to get the worldwide coverage. And that's where Asmodee is strong, because they came straight out the gates like, right, you know, we're gonna just do everything. We're gonna attack everywhere. Yeah. Europe, America, Asia, we'll take it all.
And that might be why I think that they're swamping the market. French games are swamping the market because of Asmodee.
Yeah,
I think that
amongst others.
I think in the United States, from our perspective too, it seems like there's a clear delineation on who the publisher is, whereas in Europe, as an American anyway, unless I'm more refreshed on what's happening, we don't know who's publishing what.
Yeah.
You know, we know the game title, but it's so discombobulated who's doing it over there, because somebody's doing it in France, somebody's doing it in Germany. You know, all these relationships that are connected, and in the States here, we kind of know who's doing what, and so we tend to focus on that anyway. That's my perspective on that. But
yeah, because again, Cool Mini or not, Cool Mini or not have bought the rights to Zombicide, which is French designed by a French company.
Yep.
Also, they own Cosmaster, which is a French design by a French company.
They don't own Crossmaster; they just distribute it.
They just distribute it. Sorry, I apologize.
It's not Dofus, damn it. Oh, I've forgotten the damn name of the company now, but they're a very good French company. No, it's not Philosophia. It's in about 5 minutes I'll go and I'll scream it out loud. But until then, I assure you it's a
Thanks a lot for the good information.
Ankama. There we go. Less than 5 minutes.
There you go.
Thank you. I'll be here all evening. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah,
we love this universe, don't we?
But Cool Mini do the distribution for America.
Okay.
Well, I say they do that. You can't have one. Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry, my bad. So I'm talking over you now. So
no, I'm totally sorry. Barry's gonna fix it. Make us look good.
Make it sound good.
Make us sound good. You can't make me look good.
No. That's your daughter's job.
Exactly.
Make me a costume.
I think with Ben Maddox mentioned the Ukrainian. There are things going on there too. Also Brazil, we're seeing publishers and designers and those kind of things coming out of there. I think for time's sake, we probably should move on into getting right into we're going to make a list of our top 5 designers and our top 5 publishers. This is going to be, I don't know how we're going to get through this quickly. I have a complete list here.
Yeah, just list them off.
And feel free to give just a little bit of background about each one if you want. But why don't we start with you, Jamie? Why don't you give us your top 5 designers and go from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you want to give a little background about each one, that's great.
Okay. Well, I actually have 4. I had a lot of trouble coming up with 5, so I have 4 of each. In no particular order, because I'm awkward like that, and just because each of the guys I'm going to list off, I appreciate for a different reason. So I mentioned him earlier. I'm going to mention him again. Eric Lang. He is possibly my favorite American author. There's very few of his games I don't like. For me, he just breathes life into the Ameritrash genre with good material, storytelling, good solid mechanics. Just a good, fun, thematic game that really lets you live a story. You know what I mean? Even when it's not Ameritrash, when you have things like Blood Rage, which is still one of my favorite games to date, and definitely my game of 2015. It's just so good, and I was gutted.
Agreed.
Absolutely, the worst thing as a professional who has to deal with this kind of thing, the whole Hanjin shipping crisis.
Oh yeah.
The big shipping company from Asia that everybody uses when they went bust. My first thought wasn't, oh damn, how's that going to affect like my business? My first thought was, oh no, the others. I'm not going to get it for a while. And literally, I'm really excited for the others. I'm really excited about a lot of his games. So yeah, generally.
So he's your fourth then?
He's one of my four. I wouldn't say he's in fourth position. Like I said, I have a lot of trouble.
Really.
I can't put them in order.
You can't rate them, huh?
I can't, because each of them has their own. I appreciate them each for different reasons.
Like
All
painters, you appreciate them for different.
We're gonna allow you. We're gonna allow you the professional cop out. Okay.
Well,
Thank you,
I'm going to do the same, Berkey.
Aha.
I've written a list, and it's just the top 5 that.
Well,
but
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. So there you go. Okay.
Go on then. Am I doing all my four, and then each one does their four? How are we doing that?
How do you want to do that?
I just want you to read them out,
Okay.
so we know what kind of design is, and then we can.
We want you to read them all out.
So, Christophe Bollinger, which some will know through Earth Reborn, which is a fantastic board game, and Four Gods, which is coming out pretty soon. I like him because he's just, and having spoken with him, because he's might be doing a game for Holy Grail Games, but shh, don't tell anyone. One of
you heard it here first on the
yeah.
Berkey and Badger Board Game Babble Show.
One of the things that really stuck in my mind was when he told me is that each game he doesn't rest until he has at least half a dozen to a dozen new things that haven't been seen before. And sometimes when you hear that, you're like, yeah, but turning a token into a mini isn't forcibly a new thing. It's just another, just different component. But whereas I don't know if you've played Four Gods yet.
I have,
but once again, a new release for Essen. It's great. It's a real-time world-building game. Yeah, basically. But it's like you play it and you go, wow, this is so original, and the rules are so much fun, and it's got a good objective, and it's just wow. And playing Earth Reborn, like even me who knows Ameritrash war game, board games, that sort of thing, you play Earth Reborn and you're like, wow, this is something totally new, something really fresh, and he's really good at that. That's really his mark, as it were. Bruno Catala will be my third one, partially because he so many of his games are good, and he just makes so many. I don't know if there's any author that's as prolific as Bruno Catala is, and you have amazing games come out of him. Five Tribes, Raptor by Matago. I love that game.
The list as long as your arm.
Oh, Matt. He must be he's about 9-10 games a year, so it's King Domino that just came out is really good fun as well. Just you got to respect a guy that can bring out a solid 9 games a year, and each game is good.
Yeah, amazing.
There are arguments to be said against quantity versus quality, and that's an argument for another time, but you've got to appreciate him for that. And then another one is Croc from Space Cowboys, who we've met many times. I really like Croc. He's a really good guy. He doesn't take himself too seriously. If something about a game pisses him off, he'll just let it go and move on to something that doesn't. He's in it for the game. In nomine Satinas Veritas. Damn it, the Descent-like game. I'm trying to think of it now.
Claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia, thank you. He's done a war game, Eldorado. He's done a bit of everything. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He backs weird and wonderful ideas. Time Stories came out of Space Cowboys. Yeah. It's out
of your 4 designers, 3 of those were French.
Yes, they were. No, totally. No, I fully agree. However, and this is another thing that I suppose goes back to the other thing, but I feel like authors in France are pushed forward a lot more.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys think, but like Sentinels, I love Sentinels. Said that many times during this podcast already. But unless I look at the box, I can't tell you the authors.
Okay.
Which is sad, but
have you got shares in Sentinels? Because every time you say it, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I know, right? But
Yeah.
they'll send me a check later. Don't worry. Anyway,
Yeah, that's a good point.
but it's just one of those things. Plus, well, I have to say, I meet the last three, apart from Eric Lang, who I generally see at events. The other three I must see them once every few months. So we hang.
Yeah.
So I know them a lot better.
Okay.
Sorry, you guys then.
Yeah, I'll go through my list of designers again, and not in any particular order. Again, this is on the games that I have in my collection, the games that I like playing. So my list includes Frédéric Henry, Vlaada Chvátil, Richard Lonius, Jamie Stegmaier, and Richard Garfield. Now, if you notice, there's only one French designer on that list, which I found a bit of a shock because I thought I'd liked more. I have got Antoine Bowser and Bruno Fuduti down here, but I've had to scribble them off because they're not as prolific. Their games that I have are not as prolific as the ones that I really do like from like Stegmaier or from Richard Garfield.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and maybe insult you, but I hope not. I do mean the best and say those are all authors that have been around for quite some time as well.
Maybe so. I don't know. Oh, Garfield for sure. Stegmaier, I don't think so.
No, for sure.
Richard Lonius, yeah, he invented Arkham Horror.
Just a bit.
Vlaada Chvátil, he's been around, good 10 years?
Yeah, so.
And
Not as long as Garfield.
No, nobody's been around as long as Garfield.
No.
Knizia.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I take that back. Maybe no, it's not. I was going to say maybe it is a generation thing, but no, maybe not then. Maybe not.
No, they're totally random there. Berkey, you.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's so hard it was really hard for me to come up with this. In fact, I've been thinking about it all week, but I hadn't actually put all the games together. I want to caveat this in the way I rank them, because I actually did rank them, is that I think there's, oh gosh, how do I want to say it? It's so hard because there are designers that I really highly respect, but I haven't played that many of their games. So I didn't want to say they're my favorite designer if I've only played one of their games, even though I know they have a high pedigree. So I went by some of those factors, and I have two honorable mentions, and I'm going to mention Vlaada Chvátil. And I don't know if I'm saying that right either, but I love Vlaada Chvátil.
Tom Vassell.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, carry on.
I love code names. Absolutely adore Galaxy Trucker. I love his humor and his rule books. I've got Dungeon Pets that I haven't got to play yet, but I'm going to. Yes, through the ages. I mean, good grief, he's fantastic. Another honorable mention is Peter Hawes. This is a guy from Australia who's actually a doctor who has produced some fantastic games who hardly gets recognized. He produced Heads of State. He produced Triassic Terror, which is this awesome area control game with tertiary areas with these dinosaurs. The game is produced fantastically by Eagle Griffin. This game is awesome. Love it. Francis Drake, one of my favorite games, beautifully produced by Eagle Griffin, again, designed by Peter Hawes. And then most recently Royals, which I really, really enjoy that game for it being...
Time up!
You'll notice he didn't use that on me.
No, that was just his honorary mentions. That wasn't his top 5.
Yeah. Okay, so
quickly,
number 5, Eric Lang.
Of course.
Now, I should have put Eric higher. The reason I didn't is because I haven't played enough of his games.
I don't know Eric Higher. Who's it? Eric Higher. I've never played his games.
Eric Lang. I would have put him higher. Higher. Can push him higher. Okay, so now don't big gong me. Blood Rage, one of my all-time favorite games.
So good.
Love it. I've played it about 10 times. I can't wait to play it again.
Only 10.
I just love it. The could get my game group together. XCOM, the board game, I really enjoyed that. I'm normally not a co-op guy, but we had a good time. Marvel Dice Masters, fantastic. But I haven't played Arcadia Quest as Warhammer 40,000. I actually did play the Star Wars card game. Anyway, the list goes on. Number 4.
Four.
Here it is. My good friend, the living legend,
Mike Fitzgerald.
Mike Fitzgerald, as coined by Lance Meister, the Undead Viking. Mike Fitzgerald is a genius card designer. This guy did the Mystery Rummy series. He did Wyvern. He has Wyatt Earp, which is one of my favorite Mystery Rummy games. Diamonds from Stronghold Games. Love a quick trick-taking game. My favorite two-player game of all time is Baseball Highlights 2045. It's a strategic game with deck-building aspects. Absolutely adore it. I just played 3 games of it this last weekend.
Played face behind your shoulder there by the looks of it.
Yep, exactly. And, we get little Joe Mauer there when we start playing. Got the game mat, the Meeple Source Meeples. That's all tricked out. Hey! Shut up.
Okay.
Number 3. My good friend, Richard Borg. How can you not mention Richard?
Good name.
Met him at Gen Con with my son, and my son, this was his favorite designer, playing Memoir 44 in a great big Overload tournament. I've had so many amazing good times playing Memoir 44 with my son. The Command and Colors, Ancients, and Napoleonics. Just told you about Thunder and Lightning.
He did Battle.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Liar's Dice. I mean, he's a legend. He's fantastic. And not only is he fantastic.
Related to Star Trek.
What?
That's why you like
if he did it,
related to Star Trek.
Yeah, the Borg. You will be assimilated.
Into this board
resistance
game.
Is futile.
I'm glad there's 700 miles between us.
Yeah. But I love Richard, and what a nice man. And same thing with Mike Fitzgerald. Good friends, and I just love these guys. Number 2.
Oh, sorry.
Uwe Rosenberg. How can you guys not? Well, maybe Uwe Rosenberg. Good. I mean,
I've only played Agricola, so.
Oh well, Agricola's yeah, whatever.
Wait, what game? How did you pronounce that?
Agricola.
Agricola. You mean?
Agricola.
Agricola. Sounds like some sort of Greek villain.
Yes, it is. Yes, I know that.
Mind you, Agricola sounds like Diet Coke, so you know.
Yes, yeah. Agricola. Yes, I knew that. Le Havre. I mean, good grief. That's a fantastic game. Caverna. That's down there in the back. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Caverna, the Cave Farmers. Patchwork. Fields of Arla. We just played this yesterday. And this is just unbelievable. Now he's got this new game called Feast of Odin.
He's got another one called Cottage Garden as well, which looks interesting.
A green garden or something, yeah.
All right.
Or Garden Green, whatever. But now he's got this new Feast of Odin. This guy's a genius. If you like Euro games,
and you like gardening.
Off the hook.
Yeah, clearly.
Okay, number 1.
John Cena. Sorry, wait. No, that came out.
Yes. Sean Vassell. Nothing personal. No. I'm just joking. Gosh, he didn't even get an honorable mention. That's really bad because that's one of my favorite games. Okay, number 1. I agree with Jamie Johnson. Bruna Cathala. Yep. I love this guy. I met him at Gen Con. Shadows over Camelot, one of my favorite co-op games. He's got so many. One of the games that he designed with Sergei Leggett is Senji. Amazing game. Dice Town. I love that game. He did that with Ludovic Mablanc. It's like a French wine. Cyclades. I love that thing. Cyclades is awesome. 5 tribes.
I'm sorry, I'm dying. Cyclades. Sorry.
What do you call it? Cyclades?
It's Cyclade. Cyclade, technically.
Cyclade?
With the French, it's Cyclade.
Oh, Cyclade. That's the way I'll say it from now on, then. Cyclade.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, go on. Go on.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Stick to that. Nobody else can play it. If they say Cyclicades, I can't even say that. Euclides. That's a mouse thing.
That is definitely a Greek villain. Oh no, it's Cyclides.
Cyclicades is out. Yes, we will have at him. Off with his head. We'll play Abyss. Seven Wonders Duel.
That's good. I love Seven Wonders Duel. And Seven Wonders is pretty good as well, you should say.
Yeah, exactly. And he's collaborated with Anton Bauza and all these wonderful designers. So obviously he's done a lot with Bruno Feduti.
Yeah.
Also,
well.
so did I say that wrong?
I did have something go off in the back of my head. Was like, I won't tackle him anymore.
Do it.
It's
next time you come on the show, Jamie, we're gonna have to have a kind of pronunciation.
Yeah, which name is he saying?
Yes.
Well,
Feduti.
I'm just copying Z Garcia anyway. What does he know?
It's good.
How's Bruno Feduti? How do you do it?
Feduti. Yeah.
Feduti. Yeah. Feduti.
Damn.
Okay, that's my designers, Barry.
I've done my designs.
Yep.
I know.
Did
Now
you
we're
fall
going to
asleep?
talk. No, I didn't. I know. I heard them all.
Okay. We're gonna
heard
do
them all.
publishers then.
Publishers.
Yeah, again, going through the list of the games that I have in my house and the games that I like. These are the publishing houses that, if a game comes out, I will be tempted to buy because I know that they're going to give me a good quality game and a good quality product in total. And again, these are not in any particular order, although you could put Fantasy Flight at the top because I have a bucket load of Fantasy Flight games. CGE, Czech Games Republic, Funforge, Stronghold Games, and Stonemaier Games. All very, these are houses that I trust with my money, and they produce good games. They all produce great quality components, and I know that I'm going to have fun, and they look nice on the shelf, and they're the same size boxes. Apart from Stonemaier Games, he's done 3 different box sizes.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that collapse onto the desk, just like, oh, you don't know the stuff I've seen. First world problems, my friend. First world problems.
First world problems. How about you then, Jamie?
So FFG has to once again, this is in no particular order. FFG, because they just produced some great games. Their decision with Games Workshop threw me at the beginning of the month. I'm not sure where that came from, nor the reasoning for that, but whatever. They did some great Games Workshop licensed games, which sadly we won't see anymore. And my heart goes out to all those that were invested in the Conquest card game, which is a really good game that is going to sadly be cut short before its time, which is really sad. But they've done so many. I mean, Twilight Imperium, Chaos in the Old World. Once again, Games Workshop game. We won't see that again. Chaos in the Old World, Imperial Assault, Descent. I mean, there's so many of their games which were just part of my youth. I could not talk about them, and they are a reference for so many genres. If you want to talk dungeon crawler nowadays, we talk Descent, that sort of thing. Space Cowboys, because I talked about Croc earlier, because they come out with some really good ideas. They don't take themselves too seriously. I think Time Story is an amazing game. They're redoing Sherlock Holmes now as well. Hit the Road was really good too. Just great. Really like the stuff they come out with. Devil Pig Games. So big shout out to the boys from Paris. Now, these are people that don't know what the word serious means. The story I always like to tell about Devil Pig was from Cannes this year, where they were demoing Carnage, which was the game that was going to be on Kickstarter, which was their big 4-player battle game with cards. And the idea is that when you completely annihilate an opponent's army, which happens a lot, you shout Carnage and hit the table. And they were riling up the players. This game riled up the players so much that security had to come through 2 or 3 times and tell them to shut up. And they were into it. Heroes of Normandy is a fantastic game. I mean, I don't have a lot of 1v1 versus games because I'm a war gamer, and if I want to play 1v1 versus game, I'll break out the models. But Heroes of Normandy is just such a great war game like sort of versus mechanic.
Oh,
Material, it looks great. Their pulp style is just love it. And for me, they're just fun guys that do what they love, and that speaks worlds about the games they make. And do go out and check their most recent Kickstarter on for the Heroes of Normandy tactical card game by Pascal Bernard, which also looks.
Oh
really
yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. Then finally, I'm going to go back to Infinity to Corvus Belli, which are the publishers. Spanish company, a group of 4 or 5 guys that just made this world when they were young, made a role-playing system about it. And then later on, they were like, well, why don't we make a war game? Because we all like war games. And their growth has been really, promising. They haven't gone too fast. They've done it organically. They really listen to their community. They support it. I mean, like I said, I was in Lyon last weekend for a 20-man Infinity tournament. But the boss of Infinity, because he wanted to visit the city and see French events, flew out to join us, gave a little conference, brought some prizes, and this is a fairly big company within the wargaming world as well. And they do everything in-house. They really look after their employees. They have amazing quality control. I've never had a bad Infinity model. They're just a great company to follow. There you go.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, some really good titles there.
Just a bit.
Barry?
I'm back. I dropped out, I think.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but I lost everything. I tried clicking on other windows. I tried loading Facebook, and it just had an internet error. So I don't know if the show's been cut out or not. Maybe someone.
No, it seems, looking at YouTube, we still seem to have been going. So
okay.
Yeah,
I could be nasty and say we didn't notice, but
I think you didn't notice.
Yeah, I think we're running there.
Okay, no worries.
Well, I think both of you guys had really great choices there. I did rank them, and I'm going to. My honorable mention was Stonemaier Games. Great deal of respect. So yes. Number 5, Stronghold Games. I've been so impressed with Stephen Buonocore since I first met him. The amount of games and the quality in which have come out. His Great Designers Series games. He does great production. Have a ton of his games on my shelf, so I had to give them an honorable, or I had to give them my number 5. Number 4, and this might sound a little partisan, but I have to say Arcane Wonders. I've had the opportunity to work with this company, so full disclosure, very closely. I was the sheriff of Nottingham, worked directly with the owner, Brian Pope, and Scott Morris, now with the Royals and Onitama. And some upcoming games, I've had opportunity to work with them closely. I love these guys. I love what they do. I love the production value of the games. I think Onitama is unbelievable. Sheriff of Nottingham, Royals is a fantastic game. The Mage Warriors series with Academy. These are highly respected. And one thing I know about them is they always go above and beyond when it comes to production. Their artwork, they spare no expense. They put their money into their artwork and don't produce as much because of it. They got a new game, Speechless, out now. But anyway, full disclosure, I love these guys. I know them well, but I do honestly feel that way. Number 3, Z-Man Games. Now, I realize that, we've got all kinds of talks of who owns who, but they've put out so many of the games that I had on my shelf. I couldn't, Marco Polo, Thunder and Lightning. I could just go on and on about all the games that I have from Z-Man that I just love. Stone Age. There's just tons of games that I have. So I have to give them the nod at 3. Number 2, Fantasy Flight Games. Their production's off the hook. They're just down the road from me in Minneapolis, 2 hours away. I've been in the Fantasy Flight Game Center. Everything they do is with class. I love all the Star Wars themed games they've done. I love Forbidden Stars. I love Star Wars Rebellion. There's so many games of theirs that I just adore, and so can't not think of them. And my number 1 of all time.
Yes.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah, I'll add that in later.
Cool Mini or Not.
Oh wow! I'll have to say straight away, I'm shocked to hear that.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind all the authors and the games you have behind you, I'm really surprised to hear that, and I'd love to hear the reason.
Yeah. Well, I'm such a nut for high quality production. I love miniatures. I love high quality production values. I see the company branching into a little bit of the family weight games like Potion Explosion that they just recently did, which I thought was really, really fun family lightweight game. Blood Rage is one of my favorite games. Rum and Bones I really enjoy. There's just the new game from Eric Lang that's coming out that's going to be the Godfather. They're also going to be coming out with Rising Sun, which is the
follow-on to
follow-up for Blood Rage. Seeing a lot of what they've done. The Grizzled.
Yes.
Little co-op. I mean,
well, once again, the Grizzled French game, but
well, there you go. And I think that's the disconnect for me in knowing what's actually happening and how all these relationships connect. But in my mind, this is what Cool Mini is doing here, and I just think they're one of the top-notch ones out there right now.
I admit, I kind of feel ashamed I omitted them from my list. But yeah, if you want high-quality productions, and of course I love what they do through Kickstarter. They kind of they trailblaze the way through Kickstarter for all of us to follow. And they just do some amazing games. And they're a lot more, as Cool Mini is a lot more than Zombicide nowadays, which is what a lot of people accuse them of, but they really are a lot more.
Well, you look at the others, and there was just a.
Please don't talk about the others too much. It makes my eye. Oh,
it's amazing. I've seen it.
Could not get here soon enough. God damn.
Nothing
the Americans.
Yeah,
there's a game that they produced that I think got way under the radar, and I'll end with this, but this is by Mario, the designer who did, I'm probably saying it wrong, he did Libertalia and he did Dogs of War from Cool Mini or Not.
Oh yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Dogs of War, but some people really do like it. Yeah.
Oh, I just love that game. The miniatures and everything is produced really great, but I just love the interaction we've had anyway with that game. So I know it hasn't got a lot of press, but anyway, that's my 5.
Yeah, and here's my 5.
Oh, there we go. Damn, why didn't I say that was my 5th? Oh, you stole it. That
Ruins of Esteros.
No, what have I done? Oh.
Yes, the Rising 5.
I hear it's pretty good, that game. I hear it's pretty
and I
good.
can't wait for it to get here.
That's exciting.
Well, Thursday, 8 o'clock GMT +2.
Okay.
On Kickstarter, anyway, not a release, but
yeah. Oh, I thought you meant me and you.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
C'est juste toi et moi.
Sorry. That's to cut Berkey out now.
Yeah.
It's gonna get too intimate. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a good campaign. It's gonna be good. Very excited.
Yes, that will be exciting. To sum up, I was quite surprised to find that my list was not so French heavy as I thought it would be. There was a lot of American companies, of course. There were the occasional French company and the French designer. Of course, the names that I hear all the time are Fiduti, Ketala, Bowser, Montblanc, Henri. So maybe my brain has been brainwashed by being around French gamers and hearing their stories about, oh, I got this game and I got that game. But obviously not in English, but in French. But yeah. So
I'd say we're definitely in a sort of golden age of board gaming at the moment. It's not like the period where Germany was the board game capital of the world and that kind of thing. It's that we've got so much choice, whether it be through traditional Kickstarter or anything else. It is a golden age for board games, and I don't think you can pin down board games to just one country or region. I think everybody's so into it now, and so many different cultures bring so many different things to the table. I mean, we didn't even branch off into Asian games, but Rising 5 is an Asian game, for example, Gary Kim. And the ideas they have is totally different to what we have, which is totally different to what the Americans have. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
I think so too. And I even got, when I was putting together this list, I really should say an honorable mention to Tasty Minstrel Games too, because it's so hard. Look at all, like just what Jamie said. There's so many fantastic designers. I mean, Seth Jaffe, he's amazing. He's done some really great stuff. Orleans, that game is amazing. And Tasty Minstrel, they've got this game Yokohama that kickstarted really successfully, and that's from a Japanese designer. There's so much happening. It's just remarkable.
I mean, if we're going to talk about honorable mentions, we could go all night. I could make a list of 20 companies that I really like for reasons very much like I like the other companies. There's so much choice that some would say there's too much choice. In fact,
Yeah.
It is. It's a little overwhelming, but it's pretty exciting, right?
We're very lucky.
Yeah, which is why when you say people are thinking, oh, there's not going to be anything at Essen, I beg to differ. I think there will be somehow.
Yeah.
Not too worried about that.
Yes, there'll be Cottage Garden by Uwe Rosenberg.
Exactly.
Where you can plant your flowers and then get your lawnmower out and kill the neighbor's cat.
So I heard there was stories about cats going under lawnmowers on this show.
Yes. Oh no.
Real.
I plead the fifth.
Okay, so we'll finish up the show by thanking our special guest, Jamie Johnson. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you very much, guys.
How can they get a hold of you, Jamie? Tell us how people can get a hold of you.
I get to plug myself. Yes,
absolutely.
So
did you say pimp or plug?
No, yeah.
Plug it. But pimp, it's the same word. It means the same thing. Anyway,
yes, I know that. Yes.
Facebook, Holy Grail Games TT, or Twitter at Holy Grail Games. There's, of course, BGG pages for all of our games. Like I said, the Rising 5 Kickstarter is this Thursday, 8 o'clock. We've got loads of cool stuff planned, so please do be sure to check it out. I'm going to have a shout out for Vincent Dutré, who's been working with us on that game, which is great. Gary Kim Games, Mandu Games, who are our partners in all of this, and they've been fantastic. Big shout out to Ship Naked as well, our shippers for America, Philibert, who have been once again all the guys working with us.
You said Ship Naked.
Ship Naked, not what you think. I said.
Ship Naked.
It's a weird name, and I've never asked them why, but I'm sure there's.
I just got a package from Ship Naked, and my wife looked at it and she says, "What's this?" And I winked at her and said, "You'll find out."
Well, there's a fig leaf in there somewhere.
It was my tiny epic Western, but okay.
Is that what she calls it?
Yes, that's what she calls it. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. There we go. That was a good shout out.
Yeah, at least it's epic.
Oh, and finally, while I'm here, the guys from Gamer Tee in England who make these T-shirts, who have been working with us on Rising 5, there's a quick hint of something unusual that might appear during the Kickstarter. They make amazing T-shirts. Go check them out. And I'm done.
Thank you, Jamie.
Wonderful.
Thank you for having me on, of course.
Hey, Jamie, this was really great getting to know you. I'd love to hang out with you sometime if you get to the States.
I'd love to have a game of Blood Rage with you. Perfect.
For
manly bonding. Manly bonding. I say manly, as manly as pushing Vikings around a board can be, anyway.
They are not toys. These are weapons of war.
Oh, man.
Dear me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, again, I'd just like to give a quick shout out again. Many, many thanks to Arcane Wonders for sponsoring the upcoming Royals episode and the huge contest. Please check us out on Facebook at Board Game Theater. You can check out our show here at BoardGameTheater.com or Board Games Everybody Should. That's Barry's site. Barry has a fantastic site. You can see about Berkey and Badger and our show. You can also see all of the videos he's been doing recently that are fantastic. And please join us on the Board Game Guild 2248. We'd love to interact with you. We'd love to have ideas from you on what you'd like to see on the show. If you have special guests that you'd really like to hear, please let us know. We'd like to interact with you at the Board Game Geek Guild 2248. Join us on Facebook at Berkey and Badger and on Twitter at Berkey and Badger. Love to connect with you. And again, thank you guys so much for listening. All of our guests that were on the show, that were listening alongside us, Ben Maddox and Kabuki Kid and Wolfenstein and Darth Vader and all the rest. Yeah. Hey, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Did you want to mention the winner of the Dragon and Flagging competition?
Oh, yes, I do. Go ahead.
Well, I'll edit this in the podcast a bit earlier, but we'll mention it here as well now.
There are 3 winners. to the contest. They're at the BoardGameTheater.com website. All three are listed and on the Facebook page, Berkey and Badger.
Okay. And is that it?
That's it because I can't remember all the names.
Feels really anticlimactic.
It was.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Quick, throw a cat on a lawnmower. Quick.
Cut it out. Cut it out and put it at the beginning. Barry, make a drop. Do it right. Don't do this to us.
Okay, yeah. All right. Give me the names, and I'll make him an offer that they can't refuse.
Yeah, you know, they're all sent to Stephen at Stronghold Games, by the way, and the game and the pints are all being shipped out. So thank you guys for joining us in that contest. It was a super lot of fun. We had almost 1,700 people join the entries into the contest. So
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So
thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for putting up with us and our special guest. Hopefully we'll have Jeremy back on the show maybe after Essen.
Yeah, it could be good. An Essen recap, maybe.
Yeah. Yes, and you'll be able to hear a lot.
That'd be cool.
Yes,
we can talk about it more when we see each other at Essen. I assume you'll be stopping by our stand.
I will be. Yes,
good man.
It's 2E173.
It is indeed. I don't even have to pimp my own stand. Look at that.
No, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 stands. I'm going to visit.
Well, make sure you tune back in, guys, because when you come back, we're going to have a lot of talk about Essen. So if you're excited about some stuff, and hey, feel free to check out Barry on Twitter. He's TBalanceOPower.
No, you don't want to check me out there.
Yeah, don't check him out.
That's where I put my gothic sex pictures.
Yeah, there's loads of pictures of his Tiny Epic Western on there.
No, that's another episode.
Yeah.
So check out, but get a hold of Barry and tell him, hey, there's certain things you want him to take a look at, or if you're interested, whatever.
Yeah. Or just come and give me a manly hug if you're at Essen as well, because manly hugs are less than 3 seconds.
Yeah,
good man.
Less than 3 seconds.
Okay, I'm going to play us out now with the play out theme and not the intro theme.
We'll get Ben Maddox back on too. We'll get him back on.
Ben Maddox.
Maybe not. He was a lot of fun. I like that guy.
He's crazy. He speaks dirtier than Jamie.
Wow. Yeah, well, I'll just have the listeners know I was told not to drop the F-bomb too much or to swear or be
at all.
So this is not an accurate representation.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
All right, send us on out.
Okay, bloopers galore. The speakers have gone asleep.
Oh
no.
Here we go.
That's professionalism.
Yeah.
We're so glad we had this time together. And now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Berkey and Badger will be back in no time.